Hi everyone, welcome back to another amazing episode of Spotted. Even though it's kind of late, Happy New Year. We're back, we're better. We're speaking to someone we spoke to a few months ago, but we're back to catch up and just get all the new tea on what she's doing. We are here with
DJ Crusian, and I'm here to tell you about what I've accomplished for the past 2 years with my new hobby and career, while also doing other things such as teaching and trying to better myself as a person throughout the rest of the year.
I like that. I like that. So for those who don't know, you're a female DJ. What made you decide to take up DJing?
It Well, to be honest, it was just I was bored one day. I'm the type of person like I would see something online and I'll be bored and I'm just like, this is interesting. I want to start something new. So, funny story, I was just listening to a soca mix because that's my favorite genre of music, soca and dancehall. And I was listening to a mix and I was really intrigued on how DJs can mix a certain song or beat into the next one. It's like, whoa, like you would listen to a song and the beat would change into another sync of another song, and I'm like, that's interesting. I want to learn how to do that just because I wasn't doing anything. So you go to YouTube. YouTube always had all the twos and what to do's, what not to do's on certain things. And I made something of a beginner mix, on my own, using the ghetto recorder and with SoundCloud, and
You
I
got to start somewhere.
gotta start somewhere. And it was okay, but it's a beginner. It's something I just started. So then I had a close friend of mine who's also my manager now, who introduced me to this DJ who I didn't even know we went to school with. He's a famous DJ, also known as DJ Gel. His full name Jelani Roberts, but everyone knows him as DJ Gel, and he's phenomenal with his mixing, and he's a very big international DJ. And she, said to reach out to him so he can give you some pointers on what he used and where he started and what, helped him get to where he is today. So he gave me this software, idea called Virtual DJ where he started. It's something to help you to learn the steps on how to mix, how to remix, how to, transition songs, how to blend beats, the do's and whatnots and what to do, with mixing. And I used it, for the first couple of months. It was kind of hard, I'm just starting. So it was starting reading a new book or going to a new school, you don't know what you're doing, trying to figure out what, the software is really, capable of. And I wasn't sure how determined I wanted to really get into mixing. I just thought it was just something I was going to learn and throw away like I do with other stuff. But then I had encouragement from my friends who really encouraged me and motivate me to start something. And if I'm really passionate about it and I really want to be dedicated to starting a hobby and making it into something bigger, into a career, show some interest. So I said, you know what, this can be something that I like to do. I like music. It's very interesting, so why not, make it a hobby, more than a hobby, make it a career, make it a life choice that will actually change my life and influence other people. So it's been 2 years now, and I wouldn't say I mastered it, but I'm getting the hang of what, it's really about. And when I first started, I never wasn't sure, what the feedback I would get. I was like, maybe nobody really support me. Maybe it's because I'm a female. Females in the music industry in a whole don't get much support as male do. Is it sexist? Maybe. But I don't want to really speak on that topic, but it's more as, even as a female, if you are dedicated to want to do something, you do it. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anybody hold you back. You have a set goal of where you want to go, what you want to do. Keep that mindset. It's I'm going to do it. I'm determined. I have the ability to do that. So that was me. That's what I said I was going to do. So I said I'll make it something. Am I where I want to? No, but I'm not going to stop because I have a goal. I have an idea of how my future is going to be. Every day I dream about it. One day I'm going to be in the stage and, have the time of my life and get crazy with all the parties and get all the glory that I want. But from it, I'm not looking to be no big international DJ like, my friend or others. I'm just looking to be appreciated and respected for my talent, for what I put out, the craft that I put out, just to have somebody say, well, she brought something new to the table that I didn't even know about, music that I wasn't really exposed to. You get what I'm saying? Something that anybody could say, she taught me something that I could take up, or maybe I could put into some of the career that I'm, looking forward to pursuing. So with that, it goes. I don't know where it's gonna take me, but I hope with God's blessing, it takes me somewhere.
That was a great answer. Like, you really broke it down and you went into a lot of detail I was not expecting for the first answer. So it's just going to lead me on to a whole bunch of questions. For those of us who may not know, DJing, of course, is not some easy thing where you just choose the songs and put it together. So what goes into, creating an average mix for you?
Well, the main goal is to really focus, and you have to really know your music. That's the main topic. You have to know your music. Even if you don't know your music, it's really helpful to actually try to listen to all songs, like fully, like listen to the whole song and listen to the beat. People really, most of the time when you're listening to music, you're really listening to like the lyrics. But when it comes to mixing, is a whole other, scene to it. You have to listen to the beat.
It's a new dynamic.
It's really new dynamic. So, it's like listening to the beat. You have to listen to one song and listen to another song to really like see how you can actually blend it and how they can sync and become one. That is what you're trying to do. Blend songs and make one mix into one. You can listen to it, and it takes time. That's why it's daily practice every day. You can't just put a song in and like you just mix it, and then like if the beat is off, and when you're listening over, if it doesn't sound proper, or it doesn't it's all in here, in your ears. You have to feel it. If you're not feeling that it's where it wants to be, or if you're not feeling it's what's the word, I guess,
Not hitting.
It's not hitting. It's like
It's not hitting.
It's all in the mindset. We always got to think about the mind. It's all dedicated to listening. That's the main thing. If you don't listen, it won't come out to where you want it. You want it to be perfect. So you can't get perfect unless you practice. It's all about practicing. So the more you practice, the more you're learning and studying how the beats move, how the tempos go. There's different types of tempos. You have high tempo, you have low tempo, you have mid, you have something that's slow, you have things that are upbeat or kind of mellow. It's all about focusing on the beat. That's the only way that a mix will come out as smooth as you want it to be.
And how long would you say it takes you just to do one mix that you upload to YouTube or SoundCloud? How long on average does it take you to do a mix?
Honestly, it depends on the length of the mixes. When I first started, I used to make like mini mixes because I wasn't too, fond of like, making a big mix yet.
Those are the baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. I want to learn first. Take my time. So, I guess about maybe 3 weeks to a month. You got to make sure that it's perfect. You have to edit. My thing is always remixing. Re-recording to make sure that it's up to part of where I want it to be. You can't upload a mix that sounds trash, because that's where the bad feedback comes in. You got to make sure if it doesn't sound good to you, why would you upload it? You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure it sounds good to you, so you're able to like have other people say it sounds good to them as well. So it takes me like 3 weeks to a month,
Wow. All I have to say is shout out all the DJs, because y'all be having hours of music at the events, and I did not know that it took so long just to make one mix. So that's like really, really cool. And how would you say you've grown since you started, 2 years ago and up until now?
I guess I've grown into actually putting in time. That's my main focus. Actually putting in time to, I guess, study my music more and like other genres. Like, I might have a specific genre, like where I said like, I listen to soca and dancehall, but you have to know your music, like I said from the beginning. I think knowing my music more and what it takes to like really take the time to sit there and practice. That was my main thing. I dedicated myself to practice more. And the more I practice, like I would practice like every day, even if like, I had school, you got work in school, but any time that I had to myself is like, let me practice more. And the more I practiced, the more my mixes got better. And I noticed that come the feedback from people. When I put it out, people was like, oh my God, Kristen, this mix is so fire. You're getting so much better. This mix is so smooth. if you get better feedback each mix that you upload, you know you're getting better.
It'll just be motivation for whatever you do.
Motivation and encouragement from friends, from family members, from coworkers, anybody. You could be somebody I don't even barely talk to, but I just take the time to take that feedback, and the feedback is what helps me grow. If I know it's not up to par, then it's like, somebody saying, it's good, but, maybe you should fix this. It's like, all right, so let's go back and fix what was not, there, and make it where I want it,
Let's make it spicy.
You gotta mix it up. You gotta make it, it's all about perfection. You should know as yourself that it's not perfect. If you know it's not perfect, you take the time. Do it over until it's superb.
Yes. Perfection is key, everybody.
Perfection is key.
So now we're going to get into the fun stuff. You said your favorite genre is soca and dancehall. So just tell us about some of your mixes, what people could hear, like some of your favorite soca artists even. Just tell us about a typical DJ Crusian mix.
Since my popular genre is soca, I listen to most soca artists from like Trinidad, Grenada, from where I was born, in the Virgin Islands in St. Croix. My favorite artist growing up is Machel Montano, Big Monk. I just love him.
Shout out
to Machel Montano. It was even a blessing to even see him in concert last summer. I was able to really listen to his music. I just grew up. I feel like soca just brightens my day all the time, and I grew to love it more. I grew up on soca. My parents are from the Caribbean, so from soca. Before soca, it was calypso. So calypso, you had steel pans. You grew up on the beat and the tempo. It was always that unity within the family. That's what brought unity was soca music and calypso. So growing up is like I never listened to much R&B, and hip hop. Not until I moved up here into the States, but I don't know, I guess it was just instilled in me that, soca is really life. It's life-changing for me. People look at soca as you just going, pure bacchanal, you just whining on somebody, mind and all that. It's not all about that. There's some soca music that it has a significance. Soca music, as most artists say, unites each country and unites the Caribbean as one. So when you listen to soca, don't only listen to, the lyrics that just talk about, partying and fetting. It talks about more about coming together, supporting each other as one, coming together as community, bringing life, speaking about how the people are just nice, the food, the culture, it all has this background. So most of my mixes, when I think about it and I listen to the music, it's when you listen to it, try to listen to it as like a story of, what the Caribbean is about, what we bring to the world, not just in our community as a Caribbean whole, but what are we bringing to the world as one.
Wow, that's some really warm stuff you're saying, and I feel like that's so important because sometimes people tend to overlook, they're just listening to get lit, because I know sometimes with me when I listen to soca, shout out to soca music, but it's so important that it's way more than that. So I know that you said you saw Machel Montano in concert. Have you met any other influencers of soca or Caribbean music?
Big DJ that I was blessed to meet one day was Private Ryan. I went to a party to see a couple of months ago, last summer, and he is another inspiration for me to want to be a better DJ. I was so glad to even meet him in person and got a picture with him, and I listen to his mixes a lot too to see how he just brings professionalism into his work. It's just really phenomenal, and I'm one day wanting to reach that goal in life, that I could be able to say my work is profound in some type of way, Other artists I've seen, not really met in person, but some Vincy artists that, because my background also from St. Vincent. Fimba, I met, I got to see Little Nandi and Thunder from Grenada. I got to meet other DJs too at a party I went to last year. I went to a lot of parties more. I guess it helped me network with more people, and with that I feel I got more recognition. So it's slowly coming, but you can never rush success. Success will come slowly when it needs to. So I look at that as just a way of keep pushing, and that one day everything will pay off to what I bring to the table.
Yes. So we know that you are also the life of the party. When you go to parties, you be turned. So I just want to know, what do you think? How important do you think it is for DJs to also, be the life of the party, not just play the music, but also interact with the crowd and the guests at an event?
It's very important. If you're not energetic as the crowd, then the crowd won't be energetic either. It's all about engaging the crowd, and not only in the music, but to bring life to it. If your energy is high and you're bringing energy both for yourself and with the music, it's not just like, just mixing, like you're not hitting wicka wicka, that's it. Like, it's more to that. It's about, playing the music, and if the music is bringing life to the crowd, you gotta be out there. That's who I am. I mean, I haven't got much gigs, but my thing is, like, when I go to parties, I like try to get lit, like, I try to get crazy, but just to, make the life, make parties more lively. Because sometimes, you get to a party and it's kind of boring. And, like, it's, like, dead. Like, you trying to be like, why nobody's, like, bringing any spice? I try to spice it up. So, people ask, why, Kristen, you just so out there? And I'm just like, it's just who I am. I like to be the life of the party, like you said, but it's only because I want to make people happy. I want people to laugh. I want them to enjoy themselves. And I feel that's what, as a DJ, you need to bring more life in yourself to have other people enjoy themselves as well at the party. Because if not, it's going to be bland, and they're not going to really, be entertained. The point is you to entertain your people, entertain them through music, and entertain them through your, I guess, you could say, body language. That's the main key.
So, of course, we already established your two primary genres of DJing music are soca and dancehall. But if you haven't already, would you ever be interested in, like, dabbling of mixing, other genres of music?
Oh, yeah. I take my time to listen to other genres, like, pop, hip-hop, rap. I wouldn't mind. I could look that into the future as well to make other mixes out of other genres. That's out of my comfort zone. I have no problem with, dabbling in other type of mixes. I feel it will help me branch out more into other cultures and be able to be in the know of what the people like. It's about what they listen to. So if you know what the people like and what they listen to, that's my way of being able to make my mixes, for not myself, but for the listeners, and what you gotta listen to, what the people listen to. That's the only way you're gonna make, attract people to come to your mixes. So I guess that's the main goal,
So I know that you said that you want to be a teacher. So, you're also doing the teaching thing, not quite yet, but you're, like, getting into it. So how do you find the balance between, pursuing DJing and also being a teacher? Like, where does that balance come in?
Very simple. It's funny you asked that question. A few days ago, I had spoken to one of my colleagues at work, and I just came with the question. I said, they asked me, like, what do you do in your free time? And I'm like, I'm a DJ. And they're like, whoa, cool, Chris, you lit. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know if I should, like, really stick with it and, like, be a teacher. I was like, I don't know how professional that is. And they're like, I don't seem to find that very unprofessional at XY. And they said, you could do anything you want. I feel dabbling in both those two should never jeopardize you from your dreams. If you want to be a dream to be a teacher and a DJ, why not? I feel how you can find time for both. If you're teaching during the week, find time to DJ during the weekend. You have to be consistent. That's what it is. Consistency is always key. So if I want to teach and have the ability to, DJ as well, it's all about what comes first. You have time. You always got to find time. And I find time, During the week, I make my lesson plans, prepare for my kids. And during the weekends, I find time to mix. I find time to, not much, but, like, try to, like, get gigs if I can. It's all about your timing and your consistency. So that's my main thing.
And have you ever thought about, trying to incorporate music, if you haven't, into your lesson plans with your kids?
I've actually had that idea a couple of months ago. I'm trying to look into that and see if I could do that. That's maybe a future goal, like, when I finally get my own classroom, to, like, spice up the classroom, have them, make like, mixes. You never know. Make mixes or stuff for like exams. Have the kids, more engaged.
Soak a lesson.
Yes, that would be the day. Let them learn about Miss Kristen. But yeah, I looked into that. I said I would love to do that. That would be, a future goal to like, bring something new to the table in classrooms. Spice up the curriculum more than what, the original things that most schools have. It's always about thinking outside the box.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking into as well.
So this is a great conversation. This has been great. Just before we go, let everybody know what upcoming projects you have, whether it's new mixes, you're going to be doing some gigs. Like, just let us know what can we expect from you in the future.
As of now, I'm working on a new mix. It's a very passionate one as well, since I grew more into loving not just soca music, but into Grenadian soca, and I have one of my popular personal mixes I call as Jab Jab Massacre. So I've had 2 volumes already, and we are coming out with volume 3.
Okay.
So I'm working very hard on that one. Look for that in a couple of weeks. Hopefully it will drop by the end of the month. Keep your eyes and ears locked into your screens. Furthermore, I'm looking more into just branching out and meeting more people to help me, like, branch out my ideas and goals of DJing and like anywhere.
Networking is key. That's the major key.
I building on that, networking more with other people, looking to just work with anyone. I would be honored to work with top DJs, producers, artists, to just get my name out there, get more recognition, and just I would love to just show the world what I can do. If male DJs can bring excitement to the world, why not females? Girls run the world, right?
Girls run the world. Shout out to Beyonce. She said it best. So thank you so much for coming on. Before we leave, just let everybody know where they could find you, where they could find your mixes, how to get in touch with you. They want to book you, or they want you to swing some DJ lessons. Just let us know where we can find you at.
You can find me at DJ Crusian. That is DJ Crusian. You can find me on Facebook, find me on Snapchat, Instagram, and SoundCloud, and YouTube. Stay tuned for that.
Thank you again so much, Kristen. That's another amazing episode of Spotted. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys real soon.